Welcome back to Crystal Wellness Studios. Today is March 3rd. It's a beautiful Wednesday in Michigan. It's almost 50 degrees. Love these little warm-ups before the next ice storm. So we're going to start with Smokey Quartz this week, which is in polish, and it's been in polish for a week. And it's turning out, I gotta say, pretty darn marvelous. Whew, there we are. Look at that Smokey Quartz. Look at the shine on that. It's gotten so clear. Let's see what we've got here. Of course, there's always going to be a little bit of slurry until the burn. Smoky quartz. Just beautiful. Wow. That fire and ice crackle in there, rainbows, everything. That's a beautiful, beautiful piece. Wow. Let's see if we can get what else is in here. I think it's just smoky. Yep. Oof. Wow. Lovely shine. Oof. Can't wait to get this out of the burnish cycle. So lovely. A beautiful shine. The surface is so glassy smooth. So pretty. I'm definitely calling this barrel a success. Oh my goodness. Just look at everything that's going on inside that stone. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go wash off the rest of these, and we'll be back. Oh, let's look at this one, and then we'll go wash them off, and we'll be back to see what they look like rinsed off before they go into a burnish. It's a really wet paper towel. That's just amazing. Smokey Quartz was in aluminum oxide polish for 1 week, and it did the job. Oh my. So pretty. Gosh, the rainbow reflections in here and all that good stuff that's happening. There's a little hematoid in here, a little iron, a little fire quartz. These are beautiful. Oh, I'm so pleased with these. All right, let's go wash them up. We'll be right back. And we're back. Our Smokey Quartz has been rinsed off. Given a preliminary rinse from the polish cycle. Ooh, that's a dark one. It's a nice dark Smokey Quartz. So can you see all the sparkle and the rainbows inside? And that's really beautiful. It's a really nice gray Smokey. It's really pretty. Good burnish cycle is gonna get all the slurry out from any crevices there might be. Oh, these are just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Lovely. I'm so happy with this Smokey Quartz. Let's get it into a burnish cycle and get some pictures taken. So the burnish cycle takes about a day. It's a wash cycle with borax and water, nothing else in it. Oh, so pretty. Okay, success. We'll be back. And we're back with our Moonstone. Our tan and orange Moonstone has been running in 1,000 for a week. It had a little bit of problem. We had a couple of chips here, and we don't like to see that at this stage. So these are the chips that came off. So we're going to have to find those pieces and pull them out so that it doesn't further damage the barrel. This is one of them. See how that sheared off, and I'm pretty sure this whole corner would shear as well. So we're going to have to take this beautiful piece out and deal with it to get it back up to where it's ready to polish. So set it aside. Oh, darn. see, this one's starting to erode, and we had a chip flake off this corner. So that's another piece that's going to need a repair before it can move on to polish. Well, here's another one. Big hunk came out of it. It's always so disheartening when it starts to come apart. Here's another one. Oh, it's just, yeah, right in my hand it broke. That little chip in there, yeah. Alright, we'll Zen garden that one. Wow, isn't that cool? And these have got like a really nice shine on them already, just being in the 1000. And then it has a natural chatoyancy, or you know, that labradorescence, because it's a cousin to lab. It's that beautiful, beautiful shine. It'll polish well. Moonstone is a very fragile stone, so we need to be careful in how we deal with it. Yeah, I would say some of these are ready for polish, and we just have to remove the ones that are damaged. Oof, really pretty. I just don't want anything else to damage the rest of the batch. See how those layers, those could damage. I think we're going to have to make a lot of repairs, and I'm thinking the flat lap, you know, just a light touch here and there. We'll fix these Moonstone up to be perfect. Yeah, I think they might all get a little tiny touch. Just so that, you know, the cleavage lines here, yikes, are smooth. So if the cleavage lines are smooth, then it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna crack so much. Oh my, this entire batch might have to hit that flat lap. There's an awful lot of cleavage damage. This Moonstone's really pretty. It's like you can't feel any of that. But down here, you can feel that. So just that little tiny part. Still got slurry all over my fingers from the polish. Oh, there's a pretty one. Okay, we're going to go through all the ceramic medium. We're going to get rid of anything that's damaged as well. Yep, I think just a little bit. Moonstone's a little bit more of an advanced tumble. Or I would say a Jasper is great for beginners. You can almost not hurt a Jasper, but well, see how that cleavage is shearing off in little layers. So if I take the flat lap and just even that edge out to where nothing could grab at it, it has a better chance of making it through polish. Yeah, I'd say it's about 80% needs flat lap. And I think even those ones that broke, I think I can repair those as well. And then once we repair it, then we'll put it in the polish. This is really pretty. Whew, got a whole corner off there. Look at that. It's cool to see the growth pattern. You know, the way these stones form. Let's see what we can do with that. Aw, this one shrank down to almost nothing. Yeah. This is all gonna have to go in the flat lap. Here's more. Oh my gosh, that whole corner sheared off. Yikes. Oh no. Oh yeah, that corner. My goodness, it got banged up quite a bit in 1000. I mean, it did its job for smoothing the surface of the stone, but it got banged up and it needs repairs. That almost looks like a piece of labradorite. I swear that is labradorite. Huh. Interesting. Have to go through all this. It looks fairly in good shape, the ceramic media here. There's a couple, you know, pieces that are getting kind of flat on the edge that could break and cause damage, so let's just get rid of that now. Really doesn't do us any good being flat. Yeah. Then we'll take those chips and add them to our chip bag for that project that we've been working on. Wasn't too many went flat, only about 5 pieces. This one's broken. Yeah, okay. So, Moonstone. This can go to polish. Let's adjust this here. Get a more of an overview. So So we've got our 3 pieces of chip. Ceramic media has been gone through, and all of this needs a tiny little touch up with the lap machine. So once we do those little minuscule repairs, then we can put them all together with the other with these remains and run a polish for a week. And I'm thinking I'm going to dry polish it because it is such a fragile stone. Yeah, I think that'll be the best bet for this, is to dry polish the stone. And if we don't get the polish that we want, if we don't get, the sheen that we want, then we can try a wet polish. But I would like to go the softest route possible first. Kind of protect it as much as we can. Okay. That's it for Moonstone for this week, and we'll be back with our 2 barrels that are in 500. All right, be right back. And we're back with our mixed Jasper barrel that's been in 500. It has not been a repair barrel. It's been a catch-up barrel. And the difference is when something needs repaired, it was in a higher level grit and it needed to come back down further for further work. A catch-up barrel means when we split our batches and we have to set some aside so that, because it's not ready to go to the next level, and there wasn't enough to run a whole barrel. So we have a couple pieces of Serape Jasper in here. We've been in 500. Feels kind of strange. It's a druzy pocket on that corner. Most of this feels really good, but there's this little right there, little seam opening up. So it's Serape. Got a piece of Kambaba in here. It's definitely ready to go to 1,000. I think these both need just a tiny little, I don't know. Is that ready to go to 1,000? It's got that whole weird host rock issue in there. Let's see how, I don't think that's anywhere near ready. I'll put it back. I think this could probably go back to 60, 90. And then this whole corner's busting out. Not happy with that either. I'm going to put both of these back in 60, 90. I think they were moved ahead way too soon. Okay, 60, 90 for that. That's ready for 1,000. That's Desert Jasper or Polychrome. Goes by both names. That's ready. Yeah, these polychromes seem to be moving along quite well. They were quite happy in the 500 for 1 week. Definitely ready to move forward to 1,000. It's a piece of zebra jasper. That's got some weird... I might bust that back too for... There's another Serape. This Serape's been a nightmare from the beginning. Just doesn't seem to want to smooth the way that it should. That's just natural. A piece of zebra, piece of yellow, zebra, polychrome. Okay, so our mixed Jasper barrel for 500 is ready to move to 1,000. Fantastic. Now, what I do have sitting over here on the wings is I have a barrel that's of Jaspers ready to go into 500. So these have just been waiting for a barrel, and now we've got a barrel. Let's just open it up. Let's do it. Let's run another 500 mixed to do a catch-up. We want to get all this stuff done, you know, off our repair wall here. So we got a few pieces on top in various stages. These just all need more polish. So we're going to set these aside. The next time we run a Jasper polish, we'll just throw those in that barrel. And in here, all these are ready for a wash cycle and to move to 500 grit. And we've just been filling them in as we've gotten barrels that were big enough. There's all kinds of mixed Jaspers in here. Lots of yellow. We've got, you know, Kambaba Jasper. We've got the Serape. Zebra. We got all kinds of Jaspers that are just waiting to run. They need a wash and then to run to 500. So I think we're going to put these in, and we're going to put these on hold to wait for a 1,000. Just because I want to try and get these barrels to to combine. Okay. We will be back with these catch-up barrels in a moment. And we're back with our next barrel that's in 500 this week, and it happens to be a mixed barrel, and it's also a catch-up barrel, not a repair. So we have Chrysoprase over here that has been waiting for a catch-up. Let's move this over here. And it's looking quite nice now. Oh yes, it's looking very nice. I think this Chrysoprase is definitely ready to move up to 1,000. We have a whole batch that's waiting for polish, but we've been waiting for these pieces that have been in various stages to catch up so we can run a whole barrel together. So some of this Chrysoprase was a repair, had to be busted back down. Some of it was just waiting to catch up. So it's kind of a mixed barrel, huh? Alright, so Chrysoprase ready to move forward. Then we have over here is our purple Aventurine, which is out of focus. There we go. It's looking really, really good. Nice and smooth. Oh yeah, this is definitely ready. Ooh, this one could be flat lapped. These are ready to move to 1,000. Yep, that's can all go to 1,000. Okay, and then over here we have Smokey Quartz that's been doing a catch-up. And while it's looking beautiful as well, oh my gosh, this whole barrel did good this past week, and it's all ready to move to 1,000. There's been no breaks, no chips, no damage. The ceramic media all looks really good. There's no problems with it. There's no chips, no breakage, no damage. We're just going to give this a wash cycle and move it to 1,000. All right. I love it when things move forward. Well, this week we've had nothing that was in our medium barrels, the 120, 220 silicone carbide, but we do have several new barrels that we started and that are in 6090, and some barrels that have been in 6090 for a while. So we're going to come back with those. African Bloodstone. It has been running in 6090 coarse grit for 6 weeks. So what we need to do is figure out, there's a chip, if it's ready to move forward to 120. Now we left some of these pieces absolutely huge because we wanted some freeform pieces, and this still needs some work in shaping. God, it's really pretty colors, but it still needs some work. There's still a lot of rough in it, so we're going to put it back for more coarse work. Some of this is going to move forward. So let's see what we're going to do here. This has some surface that it still needs a little bit of work on. We want to leave some of these larger, but that's looking pretty good. I don't want to rush it. That still needs work. Now this has got a strange texture, which is very similar to the texture of the Serape Jasper that I want to put, that we had in 500, that I want to put back in 6090. So I think I'm going to add those to this barrel as well. This one's looking pretty good. I think this one can go to 120. Yeah, that one can go to 120. That corner's busted up, still needs some help. Almost ready for 120 other than this corner here. Any rough spots are going to stay. I mean, you know, like really bad, like that's pitted rough. That can move forward. That can move forward. It's just like not quite there. But it is getting close. So when we say we want it to be ready, we want, you see this rough edge? We want that rough edge gone. You know, this right in here. Just a little bit of rough pieces here and there. We want it almost as smooth as can be before it goes to 120, and 120 does that finer adjustment. Before it goes to, oh, this is really cool. It's like you can, I don't know if you can see that. You can almost see like the quartz that's in there. You can almost see through that piece. That is really nifty. Still has a little slurry left on it. Almost. It's a lot that's almost ready to move forward. I'm thinking by next week we should have 90% of this barrel ready to move forward. Let's just see here. Oh, I think that can go to 120. Well, it's got this one spot. I think that's where that chip came from right here. Wherever I misplaced that chip to. There it is. Looks like it came right out of that corner. Let's let that smooth down. This Bloodstone has a ton of natural curvature in it. A lot of, you know, crevices and whatnot that makes it a little bit harder. Like, see these valleys? Makes it harder to smooth. Really neat patterns. That almost looks like Kambaba. Got a hole in here. It's a grit catcher. Let's see if we can do something with that. Really pretty pieces. Really pretty pieces. No, I love the pattern on this one. And that one's ready to move to 120. So we're not going to actually run a 120 Bloodstone this week. We're going to want the 60-90 stuff to catch up. So we're just going to set it aside and it can wait. I mean, it's so close. It's just like little spots like this that are holding it back. So I think what we're going to do is, I mean, we're getting enough product that's finished now that we're going to, I think, start making, you know, videos where it's just one stone type start to finish, so that you can have the amount of material, the time it was in that material, you know, that grit stage. So you've got all the information available in one video. For your rock tumbling. Bloodstone's nice size. Most of it's rather large. Didn't lose a whole ton of mass overall in these 6 weeks that it's been in course. Oh, this still needs work. That's really rough. Oh, that's all pitted. It's going to be nothing but problems. I'm going to throw that on the flat lap. See if we can shave down some of that pitting. Wow, now this whole stone feels like it was the host rock, and it has a rougher texture. Kind of see that texture? It's a much rougher surface than the others. I think what I'm going to just do is Zen rock that one, put it in with the Zen garden instead of continue, you know, because it could just damage the surface of these other stones. Okay, so let's get a close-up here. This is all ready to move forward to our 120, 220. And here we have our 6-pound barrel. It's about a third of the way full. We could add more stone to it since it's going to be running in 60-90 for longer. We could start something new with it, or we could take our Jaspers that are laying around waiting for more 60-90 run and add them into it. So it would be a repair barrel for the new stuff, and it would be just a continuation for the Bloodstone. And I think that's what we're going to do, because we want to get some stuff off our shelves here. Okay, we will be back with our next barrel in 60-90. And we're back with our Indigo Gabbro, also known as Mystic Merlinite. And it has been, oh goodness, 2 weeks in 60-90. Yeah, 2 weeks in 60-90, and it just feels super rough. You see how gritty that texture feels? You can see it on there. Just feels real gritty. So the shaping in the 60-90 seems to have done its job, but the surface is really super rough. So what I'm considering is just moving it to 120, 220 silicon carbide, the medium stage, and see if that smooths out the surface, which it's supposed to do. Yeah, it's all feeling the same. It's got some pretty lavenders, some pretty colors in here. Interesting pattern. But it's got that really weird feel to it. Sorry about that. I wanted to reach down and grab the one that I knocked off. So I think what we're going to do with the Indigo Gabbro is move it from the 60-90 and put it in the 120. So this is going to go through several wash cycles. I don't know, 3, 4, you know, until the water runs clear. And we'll see it next week, and if the 120 doesn't make the surface feel smoother, then we'll bust it back to the 60-90, but I really, truly don't think it needs to be in the 60-90. I mean, you can see that there's no sharp edges. It appears to, you know, be shaping fine. There's no, well, there's no chips out of it. There's one there. Made me a liar. It always happens. And there's the chip right there. Oh, well, it went down in there. We'll dig it out. I don't know. Not 100% happy with this texture. Where is that chip? I know it's in here. And we'll dig it out and do it off camera. But even with that little tiny chip out of that corner, I'm going to send it to 120. Mystic Merlinite. Indigo Gabbro. Very pretty. It's like a black and lavender stone. It just has a weird, like, sandy, rough texture that maybe it truly needs a third week in 60-90, or maybe the 120 will get rid of it. So let's do an experiment, and let's see if the 120 will remove that rough texture. Worst thing that happens is we have to bust it back a stage. Okay, so that is our Indigo Gabbro for this week. We are going to move on to our small Mexican agate, small Mexican lace agate, that's been also 2 weeks in the 60-90. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back with our Mexican crazy lace. We also have a couple pieces of Botswana agate that we had laying around in our stores that we wanted to throw in here as well. And I think they're going to need a little turn on the flat lap, because they've got some pitting that I want to get rid of so they don't spend weeks and weeks and weeks in grit. Okay, so we've got a lot of chippage in here. These are very small pieces. They're very small to begin with. They're going to definitely need another couple of weeks in 60-90, but I'm going to add ceramic media now. I think all we're going to do this week is dig through interesting, is we're going to dig through and find the chips, and then we're going to add ceramic media and then recharge this barrel. These are really, really tiny, but they've got some extraordinary patterns. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Pardon me. Wow, look at that. These are going to be so fantastic. But they're going to need... Oh my gosh. These are all like Zen Garden size, but we're going to run it anyway. We are going to get rid of these little chips. I mean, just look at these. Mother Nature's amazing. And these are just so stunning. Ooh. Look at these. Look at this. Oh. Alright, one more week in 6090 with ceramic media this time. Holy cow. My goodness, that's busy. Wow. This is going to be so much fun once they're all polished. Wow. We're going to call that one a chip. Just stunning. So pretty. My goodness. Well, there wasn't as much chipping as I thought, just those 3 or 4 pieces here. Yeah. Crazy lace. Totally awesome. We're going to add the ceramic media, and then those pieces we pulled out earlier, the Botswana, once it gets turn on the flat lap, then we'll add those to this as well. Alrighty, we are coming back with new barrels. I think we have 3 of them that we started last week, all in 6090. So it'll be exciting to see the new stuff. Be right back. And we're back with our Firework Obsidian, which has been running 2 weeks in our 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. Feels really rough to the touch here. The edges are a little, like some of them are ready to move forward to 120. So I'm going to pull those out. Look at that, it looks like a snowflake obsidian, except it's got the pinks and the oranges in it instead of white. This still feels like it has grit on it. Let me give this another rinse because I'm seeing grit on my fingers here. But we're going to pull out what feels like it could go to 120. And then we're going to run the rest for 1 more week. We're going to look for any chips that we might find. And remove any damaged ceramic media. So it's going to be kind of status quo. I mean, you can kind of see the grit that I'm pulling off here. The barrel might have been packed a little too tight for it to get a really good rotation last week. That's really cool. Yeah, we're going to go through, we're going to give this another really good rinse, and then we're going to go through it and remove any of the pieces that are ready for 120 and those that obviously need to stay in 6090. You can see, I mean, it's still pretty sharp edges and whatnot. So, oh yeah. Some of these pieces I think might be too big for this barrel, and that might be the problem that we're having. That's definitely, I think, the problem we're having with this barrel. Really neat. I kind of like this Firework Obsidian. It's looking really cool. Holy cow. Yeah. These are some big pieces. Look at that. Can you see that grit still on my finger? Yeah, this needs another rinse and a good inspection. We're going to do that off camera. Firework Obsidian is really cool. I'm pretty happy with it. Pattern wise, I didn't know what to expect, so it looks a lot different than it did in the rough. It's really awesome. But the surface has a really, really rough texture to it. It definitely needs another week in 6090, but some of it is smoothed so nicely that I'm just going to want to put it aside for 120. and hope that the 120 will take the roughness off the surface. Yeah. Firework Obsidian. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I'm not seeing a lot of chippage. I don't think it really had enough room to move. I think it was pretty well packed. Yeah, so you can still see the grit in the bottom of the barrel there. Okay, we're gonna go clean this up, and then we'll be right back. And we're back with our sea Jasper. It's been running in 6090 silicone carbide coarse grit for 1 week. And you can see we have a lot of chipping here. And it had no ceramic media in it this first week because we wanted to get the most breakage off as possible in this 1 week. Okay. This is moving along quite nicely. Wow. Sharp edges are leaving. It's obviously going to need 1 more week, or a couple more weeks. But look at the patterns. Aren't these cool? Now this is different than Ocean Jasper. Not by much. But this is called Sea Jasper. It's really made a lot of progress in 1 week. Quite pleased to see that. But we are going to recharge the barrel, and we are going to do this for another week. I don't really think it's going to need much more. I mean, a few pieces might, but wow. Ooh, look at that one. Yeah. This one's going to be trouble. You see the crevices in here? Actually, that's still full of grit. Let's just wash that out here. You can see that running down. It's definitely a grit catcher. Yeah, I think this is going to be a trouble piece all the way around. Turning out really nicely. Okay, we're definitely going to recharge this barrel. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Oh my. I think I might just put a chisel in there and pop this stone in half. I think I'll just do that right now. That one's kind of cool. And the little tiny spots. Okay. Yeah, there's going to be a couple pieces in this sea Jasper that are going to cause trouble. This one I'm going to go crack right now, and then I'll put the pieces back in the in here. We'll add some ceramic media, and we will run it for another week in the 6090, and we'll put these chips in the chip project. All right. Sea Jasper. It was a new barrel for last week, and we've got a couple more new barrels. We'll be right back. And we're back with our yellow Aventurine, which has been 1 week in 6090 coarse carbide grit with no ceramic media. It was a new barrel for last week, and it is really, really moving along. We've got a couple of pieces here of, you know, fractured pieces of chipping, but ooh, it's really interesting. Beautiful, beautiful yellow color. Really pretty. It's going to need another week, obviously, in our 6090. Yeah, pretty happy with it. Add some ceramic media to it. There's another chip, because we don't want it banging around too much now that a lot of the shaping is starting to happen. And we want to keep as much mass as we can. So this lovely yellow Aventurine is going to go another week. Wow. Yeah, very little chipping. Seeing just hardly any, no damage really. The barrel's a little over full. We might not add ceramic media this week. Let's see what we've got here. So we're at our 2/3. We want to leave room for rotation and moving around, you know, stone moving around. We might just put the tiniest bit of ceramic media in here. And we'll see it next week. Alrighty. That's it for this week. Nothing new is starting. We have our rose quartz barrel had a bit of a problem last week. It was running on our 6-pound tumbler with another barrel, you know, the Bloodstone, that was also in a 6-pound, and they kind of overpowered the motor, so the motor couldn't quite run. I think we over poundaged with ceramic media, water, you know, stone, all of that. That motor can really only handle 12 pounds between the two barrels, and I think we were probably at 14. So we had to take one barrel out, and that was the rose quartz, and we ran the Bloodstone last week. So this week we might just run the rose quartz and let the Bloodstone sit. We'll work on it and see what happens. Alrighty, well, we will see you next week. Have a good one.